Hello everyone, I hope you're well. So I wanted to do something a bit different than some of the cases because I have a lot going on, got some clients, and my routine is really jumbled. I'm quite scattered, and that's probably not the best. Now, what I came across a couple of days ago was Hilary Clinton and Bill Clinton's deposition. The date, let's just look at the date because I know that I'm not going to be the first to do this, probably a few days later. But why I'm doing it is because she came across quite snobby. Did I watch it all? I don't really know. I think some of it was recorded, some of it wasn't, or wasn't available to public. She did a speech after it. I think it might have been just like a week ago or 5 days ago. Oh, it took place on the 26th of 2026 and Bill Clinton's deposition was held on February 27th. Both agreed to these dates to avoid congressional contempt charges. Former President Bill Clinton and Hilary Clinton testified February 2026 for closed-door film depositions regarding the investigation of Ep. It was conducted in New York and both testified for several hours. What I understand is that Hilary was there for about 4 hours. She then came out and she mentioned she was a bit disappointed it wasn't public, so I presume that she wasn't done live public, or it won't all be available to public because something's available for me to be able to see it. The volume might have been quite loud, I'm not sure. And her energy is very different to Clinton, but what I saw was that they both smile in amusement or smile, but in different ways. She was quite stuck up, and I felt when she didn't get something her way or something she wanted to avoid, she did the slam. Baba, come here. The slamming on the table, and I can't remember what question, but I've got several questions because she was asked a very sensitive question about something that was on Wiener's laptop, which is about a young gun who basically had his private or her private parts ripped off and then placed on someone else. So I prepared some questions. But where are these questions? Oh, I got it. Okay. So let's see what the cards. I'm going to do hers, and then if we're interested in other in Bill Clinton's, we can do. What I did notice is that he tends to look at the camera and she tends to look at the audience more so, but she was very snobby. So how did she really feel during this deposition? Okay. Ten of Wands in reverse. Very interesting. And what about the press conference part? Okay. Interesting here. We've got, during the deposition, it was kind of like she felt while she's there, a heavy burden was being lifted while the interview was ongoing. This is the justice, this is the heavy burden being lifted. And probably because she's talking about it, isn't she? She's actually airing everything, and she's finally getting this over and done with. I presume they've had this going on for quite some time. In terms of knowing the dates coming up, so that might have been a real big worry. But here it's showing that there is a moody nurse, there's a sulking nurse, and there was negative emotions that were blocking her her image and coming forward. I feel like some of this was prepared, and then some of it where she went off. This part, the slamming of the table, was not prepared, and it's not something that she was prepared for. I believe she got the questions prior, that's what I'm getting, and she was able to be prepared. Now, I didn't see that part if she had a lawyer, but I know Clinton had a lawyer. She seemed very prepared for some questions, and then that slamming of the table, she really did not, that did not go down well. With the moon card here, there's something that she definitely kept her emotions as much as possible, majority of times under wraps, where it was sharp answers, just straight to the point, even if they tried to rephrase some of the questions. Definitely prepared for the tough questions here. And then the press conference, I think she was just exhausted by the end of it, to be honest with you. She was like, I'm not giving all, I'm not going back to any questions that I've already answered, but I am going to repeat exactly what I'd already given and said, but I'm not giving the extra, this Ace of Pentacles. She does feel like this has taken a hit to her image. There is a bit of a lack of faith there, and yeah, here it tells me that she was pretty exhausted after it, and she probably went home, rested, and did some self-care kind of stuff. A bit more relaxed in this energy as it was coming to the end. She definitely lost it as the 4 hours coming to an end. So what I want to ask is, does she feel more worried about her or Bill Clinton, or neither nor? You know what I mean? Do you know what I get? I get that she's actually told him, and I'll pull cards, that he's got to do this. I don't think he was going to do it. I know they're supposed to turn up, but like, I think they could have got away with that. Well, let's see. Does she feel more worried for herself or Clinton? Does she feel more worried for herself or Clinton or Bill, like when I say Clinton? So herself, Clinton, Bill Clinton. I know that we're going to get stronger cards. 5 of Cups. Yeah, you can see, look, there's the 5 of Cups loss, and there's the partnership. would she feel, I already felt it, that she's more fearing more for Clinton. In her energy, she thinks that, you know, the Knight of Cups, that her involvement is a lot less. Look at this. In Three of Pentacles in reverse, she believes that, and it's a knight, lot less involvement, whereas Clinton has a lot more to lose. Five of Cups is looking at losses and regrets, okay? And also I feel like it's brought up stuff that could really cause not only issues in their relationship, but the whole thing of him having, it's not relationships, but engagements with others, okay? That's going to cause this loss and regret. So I definitely think she's more worried about Clinton, and I think I'm going to go back and see if she's asked any questions about Clinton and how she answers those to see if it lines up. What really worried her about this? What worried her? Knight of Cups. Justice. Eight of Wands. King of Swords and the Ten of Cups. Her worry is really Clinton. We've got Clinton here, the King of Swords. Here is the Knight of Cups, the Justice card, the communication that's going to be around Clinton, Bill Clinton, that is going to affect many families, and also their own individual family. So we do see the thing with Clinton again, and that his involvement has been there, because he's more involved, because we've got the Three of Pentacles upright and the Hierophant, along with big leaders, elites and names as well, and young uns, okay? Strange we're not getting too many major arcanas. We got the Justice card twice, which is really indicating, you know, the energy of this, which is justice. The Hierophant just came out, but we've not really had, and the Moon in her feelings, not had many major arcanas. If you know, sometimes when I do readings, I get a lot of major arcanas. So this is more or less, I feel that they've prepared these questions, and it's not like it's come through the universe as a surprise. Let's see, did she lie? Did she lie about anything serious? Yeah, she did. Okay, she did. She has lied. You know, she tried to pull that she doesn't know about this. She didn't see anything. She was, you know, just in another direction. And she chooses that she, I think at some stage also, I believe she chose to not look, okay? That energy has given her some kind of disbalance of resentment and a bit of, tiny bit of fear in that choice she made. But definitely here we've got the what was my question? Hang on a sec. 1 minute, sorry, 1 minute. The lie is there. The lie is there. Did she lie about Ghislaine or Ghislaine just being an acquaintance? Ace of Cups, yeah, she was a lot more to her. Absolutely. A lot more to her. Look at that. And she actually grieved the ending of that relationship, the conflict there. Now, she was asked about a particular file on Weena's laptop. I really feel like she knows how to play to the camera, but I feel like Bill is more like, the type of energy he gives me is that even if you hate him, you'll go in there and you'll come out kind of liking him. I'm not saying now like previously as a president or prior to that. I don't know if she's always been snobby, but her snobbiness really did stand out to me. And she lost it at the end of the 4 hours, I'm sure of that. Okay, so let's ask about this more serious thing. When she was asked about a particular file on Weena's laptop, I can't go into more details, by the way, people, on this disclaimer, entertainment purpose only, but her reaction was kind of like, do you know when someone says to a friend, oh my God, you know, Chrissy, tell Sarah about last night, and someone holds their head in their hand and looks up and just like is laughing but without a noise, like a smile with open mouth. It was kind of like when you relive a moment. So was she actually reliving the moment? It's so disgusting, I swear, that, you know, someone had a part of their body ripped off of them and put on someone else, and it's a young person apparently. So was she reliving the moment with the hands on the forehead and smiling open mouth, with the hands on the forehead and smiling open mouth, which is disgusting. Do you know when you unconsciously relive the moment and you act probably similar to how you did in that situation unconsciously? So let's see, was she reliving the moment? Oh no, Spirit told me to take the third one. Ooh. Oh. Okay. The situation is manipulation. You know, she had the power. 8 of Wands, the communication. So what I get here is that she definitely was had the power, the manipulation here. So to me, this is a very strong, and it's a major arcana, yes, that she did relive the moment, and unconsciously, obviously, she acted about like that. And this is the communication around it. Now, in the past, this is actually the eight of Swords, which is kind of like being tied to it. But to me, this is also still showing me the actual event of the people involved very much tied to the event. Okay, so the past is this. The future, we've got the 7 of Pentacles, is patience, is by patience persevering. We have that the King of Wands is going to come through, and the Moon card tells us that we can't see what is happening with the perp, but it's likely that the perp will be dealt with. We have not seen, so someone tell me about this, because I really don't know. I couldn't look exactly into the details and who the perp is that actually did it and who else was there. And what I could find, I don't know if I can explain here because of the platform. So here it's telling me, but going forward, there is strong people that are standing in the face, that this is taken far too long, and so much of it is really, really hidden. And in the future, it's about really protecting the young ones. And through that protection of the young ones, it's looking at a better world. There's sadness around the event, okay, and there's people that feel really bound still till this day and traumatized about the event, and they don't feel like they can speak. but we are going to see some change in a better world. That, you know, especially when it comes to young ones, people cannot stand hearing about young ones anymore, and there's going to be tears and upset energy around this. There we go, 5 Pentacles confirms to me. So that really says that she did relive the moment. As how disgusting if it is what I read. I don't even know what's happening with them. So tell me going forward about this sort of stuff, please, Spirit. Tell me the current and then the future. The current and then the future, please, Spirit. Current, future. We can see already, you can see the movement with the light coming through, can't you? Look at the two-tone of the cards. Everything's in perfect balance, number 8, but then we've got a new one which is making peace with your past. And I feel like this is also that the energy is going to move forward to really help people that have been part of this heal and be able to make peace with the past. Now this is a number 8, which is all about money and abundance, but it's about money, okay? It's also about stability. It's after things have been so stuck, they move forward. Yet Inoya, which is interesting, Spirit is telling me to look up the actual meaning of it, beyond like just what the card will say. But there is like a snake energy, and there's a bird in her chest, which is very interesting. It's kind of like being here with the thorns. It's kind of like being bound and held down, and it looks like the camera lights are need charging, so I hope you can still see this. There's a duty to honor your physical being here, and by doing that the victims are able to break through, because it seems like this is just like holding a lot of the people back, and it's kind of that they can't even feel into their body. They feel so dissociated, and rather than quality, they're looking at quantity and what they can gain at the time of having this as well. So they don't really know what they've done, but moving forward, it's awakening their sacred self. And this is as the young ones actually get older, but it's also about bear in mind who you put in your physical closeness, okay, to get to this. And I just want to go to the book and see what we can get as well. The white goddess of the feathered snake swan countenance represents the sacred fusion of earth and air, the divine inspiration bonded with earthly tangibility, which is your 8. Is it 8? Oh no, I'm reading in Thoria here. Okay. Her crown of thorns, through her journeys of pleasure and pain that she is ultimately 3. Everything is perfect balance as her soul takes flight. The moon halo around her head signifies a healthy mind, emotional balanced rationale as in all its highs and lows. This is the death card in the tarot deck, the union's sister card. When Unia appears, it's a sign of current impending endings and ensuing inevitable rebirth. Mortal contemplation is a spiritual practice that is potential to heal, instruct, and connect us to source of being. Respect your physical being. The practice of contemplating your own death is healthy, essential in order to die meaningfully, mindfully, and obviously go to this. There is only one thing equally magnificent to our death, and that is our birth. Both are grand gateways to the source of creation. Everything in life, good and bad, is beginning, middle, and end. Graciously allow things to pass and merge into the universal cauldron of creation for your rebirth, which is the rebirth, kind of what we explained. And then we go to number 1, and really making peace with your past. I think, you know, it's kind of moving into this new chapter. The rower sitting in her boat can only see from where she is and has come as she surges forward. So yeah, moving forward. This is the future. When Avenir presents, it's time to gain perspective and understanding of the role of your past has played in the direction you're heading today. I swear, don't they never fail, do they? You're able to appreciate the beauty of where you have come from and let it guide you into the future. Or are you focused on the problems and the mistakes, disappointments, letting them forge your direction? As you strike out in the more pursuit of more, Avenir reminds you to contemplate that more will never be meaningful and fulfilling until you truly embrace and unconditionally appreciate where you come from, in all its purifying pain and gentle glory. It is a healing card. It's time to make peace with your past. There's a lot more here as well, but I really feel that, you know, it kind of summons up and with what we've described as well. What I want to do lastly is that she was asked about, one of the questions I did catch was she was asked about Epi's unaliving, and her response was mysteriously died. Okay, but then there was a question prior to this, I think, or after, where she was asked about Pizzagate, and she said this is all conspiracy, bogus conspiracy theories that I don't know if she said about the internet. I can't quite remember her wording. And I wonder, like, you know, saying mysteriously unalived, but not that basically passed away. Is she just trying to be diplomatic? Because it's kind of like a conspiracy answer, isn't it? But she could have said, I don't know. I think there's a rehearsed version and then there's a slam table version of her. That's what I'm getting. Like, there's 2 versions of Hilary that was presented there. Is the very much rehearsed, you know, I'll say the answer even when they try to rephrase the question, same answer. Rehearsed in her emotional space, in her emotional maturity, just no emotional you know, kind of vulnerability or anything there, versus the Knight of Cups that we had in reverse, slamming the table and going all off. There was 2 versions of her that we saw, versions of her. So let's see, does she know the truth about Epi's unaliving, passing, whatever? Let's see. Or if he's the story around it, basically, does she know the truth? Because some say he's alive. You may be one of them. Or maybe one of them. Does she know the truth around Epi? Please, Spirit. This is telling me she didn't straight away, but I think she was informed via a woman. Could this be Ghislaine? Yes. She didn't know straight away the truth around it, but I do get a yes, and it needed time, and she was trying to put also puzzles together. Last card, heartbreak. This is the card we got when we got the Ghislaine row of, you know, division of not being able to, the relationship between them had to end. I think they continued to speak for a while, but it seems like it refers back to her. That's what I'm getting. So I just wanted to pull cards, see what we get on that. Some of you are probably following this a lot closer than me and know a lot more. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do like, subscribe, follow, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, stay blessed, and bye for now.